If someone had told me a year ago that I would be here, sitting alone in my apartment, replaying the memories of my relationship with Emilio, I wouldn't have believed them. I thought we had it all: love, trust, a business, and a future. But it was all a lie. I met Emilio in a small cafe in the heart of San Antonio's Latino community. He was charming, handsome, and spoke with a confidence that drew me in. I was young and eager to start my life, and he was everything I thought I wanted. We fell deeply in love, and I gave him my heart, my trust, and eventually my financial dependence. As our relationship progressed, Emilio made sure I was financially dependent on him. He would often tell me that I did not have to work, that he would take care of me, and that I could focus on being a good partner. At first, it seemed like a dream come true. But looking back, I realized it was a deliberate move to control me, to make me doubt myself. When Emilio got his big promotion at work, everything changed. He started dressing differently, smelling different, and acting different. He would leave the room to text someone back, and I would brush it off as work-related. But deep down, I knew something was off. His schedule became unpredictable and constantly changing. He would tell me he had to work late, but I would see him getting dressed up, putting on new cologne, and leaving the house. I ignored it, thinking that he was just stressed with work. But then, the pandemic hit, and we were stuck at home. I thought it would bring us closer together, but it did the opposite. Emilio would get anxious, irritable, and distant. I tried to be understanding, but it was hard. One day, I noticed charges on our credit card for places I had never been. At first, I thought it was just a mistake, but as I looked closer, I realized it had been going on for months. 2 years to be exact. My heart sank, and my mind started racing. I tried to brush it off, thinking that maybe he was just using the credit card for work expenses. But then I saw a text on his phone from someone named L. My heart dropped. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. I confronted him, but he just laughed it off, telling me I was being paranoid. He said I was overreacting, that I was just stressed from the pandemic. But I knew what I saw. It was not until he flinched away from my touch that I knew something was seriously wrong. I felt a wave of fear wash over me, and I knew I had to investigate further. I started digging deeper, looking at our bank statements, our credit card statements, and that's when I found out the truth. He was using my credit cards to fund his affairs. The business trips he took were actually vacations with her. I felt like my world had been turned upside down. I did not know who I was anymore. I did not know what I had. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. I called my aunt, who had been through something similar. She listened to me, tears in her voice, and told me, "Mia, you deserve so much better than this. You are strong, capable, and loved." I also talked to my grandmother, who always reminded me of my worth. She told me, "You are a queen, Mija. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise." With their support, I found the strength to confront Emilio. I gathered all the evidence, and I sat him down. I looked him straight in the eye and said, "I know what you've been doing. I know about the affairs, the credit card charges. I know everything." He tried to lie, to gaslight me, but I was not having it. I showed him the statements, the texts, the emails. He was silent, his eyes avoiding mine. "How could you do this to me, Emilio?" I asked, my voice shaking with anger and sadness. He just shrugged, saying, "I was bored, I was stressed, I needed excitement." I looked at him, and for the first time I saw him for who he truly was, a selfish, manipulative man who had used me for his own pleasure. I stood up and I said, "You're going to have to leave. You're going to have to take your affairs, your lies, and your manipulation somewhere else, because I am done. I am done being your puppet, your plaything. I am done being controlled." It was a hard, cold, calculated revelation of evidence, but it was liberating. I felt like I had finally taken back control of my life. As Emilio packed his bags and left, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. It was the end of a toxic chapter in my life, and the beginning of a new one. I was scared, but I was determined to rebuild, to rediscover myself. I knew I had a long way to go, but I was ready. I was ready to take back my financial security, my independence, and my life. I was ready to start anew, to find myself, and to love myself. And as I sat in my apartment, surrounded by the memories of our relationship, I knew that I would be okay. I knew that I would rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before.